everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and I'm so glad that you found it. If you're not already subscribed, don't forget to go click the big red button. Obviously, today isn't a vlog, but more of a montage of my whole life. Think of it as a life vlog. This is my Draw My Life. Around noon on March 21st in Georgia, in a small town called St. Mary's, my mom gave birth to me. I lived in St. Mary's, Georgia for a good part of my life, about 4 years. I was born into my family, and I'm the youngest out of 3 kids. My dad was in the military for a really long time. My mom, at the time, while we were living in Georgia, was a social worker, and we used to always bake together. Darian, my older sister, is 6 years older than me, which is actually really cool because she's like my biggest role model. Whenever we lived in Georgia, Jason and I hung out all the time. Georgia is also where my mom met her lifelong best friend, who is like a second mother to me. Her name is Christine. After a few years of my life had happened, my dad was stationed in Washington State because he was in the military. He was in the Navy. When we moved to Washington, this is where I met my lifelong best friend. We met each other when we were 4. Seriously, like the day I moved into the house. Fun story about Audrey and I's meeting is that we were both so shy that we wouldn't talk to each other, and all I remember was that I was wearing pink cowgirl boots. We have so many memories together, like running around in the neighborhood in our bathing suits, having tea parties at each other's houses, and being separated in school because we would talk way too much. When we first moved to Washington, we lived in a neighborhood called Newberry. We nicknamed the house the Greenhouse because the house was actually green, and so that's just what we called it. Through elementary, I attended 4 different schools. I moved schools so much not because I was a bad student, but because we just moved a lot. We always rented houses instead of buying because my dad was in the military. For 1st and 2nd grade, Audrey and I went to Silverdale Elementary. After 1st and 2nd grade, my family and I moved about half an hour out of town to a house that we built called the Port Orchard House. This was a really hard time for me because I was so far away from all of my friends and from school. I definitely really missed Audrey. While living in this house, I attended another school called Cougar Valley for years 3 through 5. I met a really great friend, and his name is Christopher Schiller. He could seriously make anybody laugh. After this move, we moved again, and we lived on base housing, so just like on the naval base that was back in town, about 10 minutes outside of the town that we first lived in. This house we just called the base house. It was also a funky color. It was bright yellow. Living here was so much fun because there were so many kids my age, seriously, in almost every other house. I met a girl named Molly and a boy named Sean. These were the people that I hung out with the most. During the school year of 2008, my mom was taken to the ER, and we found out she had a massive brain tumor. I remember spending 2 weeks in the hospital and missing a whole bunch of school. Something that's really cool about this, even though it was a really hard time for our family, is that during those 2 weeks, there were so many close friends and family members praying for her life and who supported us and were always at the hospital with us. I'm so blessed to have my mom with me still to this day. And then, of course, I moved away again. For my last year of elementary, I went to a school called Emerald Heights. During the summer, before my 6th grade year, I began to struggle with anxiety a lot. I can remember the first time I had an attack, and it's still the scariest thing to me. I still struggle with it today, but I've definitely grown as a person and through this experience, and it's definitely motivated me to be a happier person in general. Towards the end of my last year of elementary, I found out my dad had taken a job in Wichita Falls, Texas, because he had just retired from the Navy. He was in the Navy for 20 years, which is a great service, and I respect him tremendously for that. So we packed all of our things and moved to the great state of Texas. Junior high flew by with one of my best friends by my side that I met within like the first week that I moved there. Her name is Casey. Although we don't attend the same school anymore, she's still the one who got me into tennis. A great memory we have together is one year her dad made her run cross country, and so she made me run with her. I only went to 1 meet, but I definitely walked like half of it. Our family also became really great friends with one of our neighbors that lived a few blocks down. In the year 2013, we decided to move across town, and so did the Hendricks. We bought houses that are a few doors down from each other. I transferred after my freshman year of high school from Ryder High School to a small private school called Wichita Christian School, and that's where I've been attending for the past few years. I've definitely met some people here who I will never forget. Some of my closest friends are Addie, Jackson, Holly, and William, and are some of the people I have made so many great memories with. These are the people I made memories with that I will look back on and never forget. I remember all the car jam sessions and late night movies and haunted houses and zoo trips. These are the people who have my back all the time. So, how does YouTube play into my whole draw my life story? My YouTube channel started as something I didn't know I would carry on or would even be something I enjoyed so much. It was kind of funny how it all started, actually. My sister Darian got married a few years after she left for college. My brother-in-law, Peyton, has a younger sister my age, Riley, who is really into photography. She's a killer at it. Seriously, she's super good. For a while, she started a YouTube channel and has since created a new one. One day, I was up in Oklahoma visiting Riley, and before leaving, she told me that I should start a vlog channel. I laughed it off, and a few months later, whenever spring rolled around, I picked up my phone and started this channel. I started vlogging spring break whenever my mom, Holly, and myself went to Florida just to kind of hang out during our week off of school. I can't believe all of the great memories and days I've captured since I've started vlogging. With my graduation being right around the corner and college options on the table, I can't wait to see where my next adventure in life will take me and how I will live freely through it. I know God has great plans for me, and I can't wait to fulfill them. This channel is something that's definitely helped me grow as a person and helped me discover new things about myself. Thank you guys so much for coming along on my adventures and watching my videos, because seriously, it means the world to me that you guys care enough to sit down 2 or 3 times a week, however many times I post, and watch my videos. And so I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been such a big part of my life. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're not already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.